some of the greatest powerlifters in the world back in the 80s. Ed Cohen came out there a lot, but Doug Furness, Doyle Kennedy, Jeff Magruder, first guy to bench 605 at 242 chest.
Wow.
But also he bodybuilded. Also, he won Mr. Seattle. But that's who my mentors were. So I come from this gym where, and it's also the time, and I'm asking for a training partner to be like that today in 2025, and that's unfair of me compared to the 1980s. There was no phones, there was no distractions. You're there, you're alpha, you're just in it, and you're smack talking your partner. But I went in the gym today. Sorry, it's long-winded, but I went in the gym. No,
dude, go ahead.
Left the phones in the car and went in and we went off. And it was just nice not to have the phones.
Yeah. I agree.
What do you do to help focus in the gym? Is there anything that you do specifically? Is it headphones, music?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Listen, I wear my hat. I put it down over my head or my eyes as much as possible because I don't want to talk to anybody. So I don't want anybody to come up to me, which people still do. And I'm glad to talk to them when they do, but it's kind of deterrent, right away. And it puts me in that mood. It's like Stallone over the top when he turns his hat backwards, mine goes down. Now it's on, right? It's like flipping that switch. So
now you get,
as you grow, yeah, I do love it. So that's one thing. And the headphones are a whole nother thing. I mean, I think music drives a big thing. Can I train without headphones? Absolutely. No problem. But do I like to have headphones and music? Yeah, I think music drives emotion, and emotion can drive better lifts for sure, 100%. Especially if you're going through something or you're thinking about something and that song just hits that right nerve and you're just ready. You're just ready to rock and roll. So those are the two big things I think. And obviously time is valuable for me and you, right? So I want to get in there and get what I need to do, get done, because I got to go do other things. So at that point, I'm focused on getting my lift in. Focused on, hyper focused on training my best and hardest when I'm in there. Cause I'm like, all right, I only got so much time. So I really got to make this count. So that's kind of what I do. It's basic, it's easy, and that's it.
I think one thing, it's not a mislead. I just want to clarify. John's time is limited because he's running a very successful businesses. Yeah. And so he has a slot time because I've seen the schedule.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I do not put a time on the gym. And I can do that because the gym is it's my family time, it's my day, it's me and Mona get time, it's my training. I can have the luxury of doing that. So for everybody out there, that's both aspects of this. And so Johnny loves the music. Most people I know, especially today, headphones, music, that's their go-to.
Big time.
Yeah, and
I don't got a training partner. I haven't had a training partner in so long. So at that point, I just use the music. Would I like to have a training partner? Absolutely, because I think they motivate you. They can help you grow.
I've met both. I've met like your schedule is. You would need a real flexible person. You know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, I'm going now. This is it. And so I understand that you don't have a training partner. But you do like the idea of having one.
Absolutely. I think a training partner can be better as long as they're a good training partner, because there could be bad training partners too. So you need to get yourself a good training partner. Somebody who's going to be responsible, reliable, and that's going to push you. That's what you need, right? And you have good conversations in between there. And that's how bonds get built too. Just like I'm sure with your training partners, you're in there, you're going through day to day, and it just is what it is, man.
All right. I had 4 training partners today. One, Bobo, terrible. This guy would do his set, then walk off and use his phone. The second one is an actor. I understand, but again, he would do his set and he'd go sit down and get on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
The one guy, Prime Rib, aka Kelly Pooh Bear, detective. no phone, and smack talk, and the most out of shape of the three, but a strong human, just 350 pounds. He's strong.
Oh wow.
But the most fun.
Boy.
Yeah. Most fun because talking smack. He's going, "Oh, dude, you look skinny today. Oh, is that all you're gonna do? Tell us to work out." I like that. I don't want to be said. I don't want the. I like the negative.
You don't need the fluff, right?
Nah, I don't. I need to know what I'm doing wrong. I need to know if I'm slipping.
Right.
I don't need to know.
Right.
So it was interesting. I think Jeff's going to do a video of showing one of the guys, me doing a set, him on the phone, me doing a set. So I think it is a benefit. Either don't have one or have a good one.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. Because I mean, literally, like, you know, the thing with me, like I'm in there, I've been training by myself for so long, whatever it is, that's fine. But like doing the bench, I mean, that's like the only thing I think that you would really need somebody like, or deadlifts or squats or whatever it is if you're doing legs. But you know, having the person there and be able to push you through a couple more reps, because sometimes those last reps really do count. That's when you're really breaking down that muscle. So, you know, at that point, I think that would be good, you know, just there for a spot for me, you know, just support, you know, it is what it is. But I really do think that they can help you grow, and they can help you train better if they're a good training partner. So, I mean, maybe I'll get one. I go in the mornings, as you know, because I'm always hitting you up in the morning. I'm like, listen, I'm on my way to the gym. So I
want to take credit for that.
Somebody. I've seen somebody like, so Matt Joyce, who's an ex-professional baseball player, he's at my birthday. He's going in the mornings. So I've seen him like the last couple of days. So, I mean, he's been asking me, I'm like, hey, listen, if you want to come in the morning still, dude, I might just have somebody, you know, at least 2 or 3 times a week. You know, I'm good with that. I like it. You know, I think, like I said, I think there's benefits to it for sure.
I've met both. Jay Cutler, no training partners. He likes his own time. He likes just to go when he goes, when he feels like it. And that worked obviously great for him.
Right.
But I love these old school battle friendships, Franco and Arnold. You see these videos of Arnold talking about how Franco would take him up a notch. And I've had some training partners like that. You know, I've had some incredible training partners, but I like that friendship and someone there to call you out on stuff. And if you are down, they raise you up or challenge you. So I recommend this. I recommend having a good training partner, or do it like you do it and don't do a training partner at all. Just get them in.
It's not by choice, but yeah, for sure. All right. So question is, how do you track without your phone? Use paper and pen or remember the weights you used last? I mean, some people bring a notebook in. I still see the old school got like a little folder binder notebook and writes in everything he does, from the training to the eating to everything. It's all logged. You know, can you use your phone? Absolutely. But don't get stuck scrolling. I think that's what the problem is.
Yeah. I think, you know? My point is, I left my phones in the car because today I just wanted to get nasty being back in California.
Yeah.
But take your phone in and track it. It's fine. But I agree. Johnny and I are saying, if you can, don't do your work. Don't take it with you.
Right.
Just designate that time for you to just focus on your health, is my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the worst. Like, I'll have my phone on me just for emergency situations or stuff like that. And I've been caught in the gym, like where Sharice will call me and she'll tell me about a problem at the office, and it totally ruins my workout's done. Because mentally, I'm not there now. I'm not there. So I'm like, all right, I got to go back to the office. So I try to like not take any calls when I tell her. I'm like, listen, this is my only time. So I'm like, you got to listen. If the house is burning down, the business is burning down, I'm on my way. If it's a problem that, listen, you're mad about and upset about and you want to talk about, then just give me a little bit of time. And then at that point, like even when I'm driving back, I'll call you and we'll talk about the problem, whatever it is. If there's an emergency, obviously I'll jump on the phone. I mean, I got to be like that, but you know, stay there mentally. That's the biggest thing. And obviously when you're training between sets, you know, you want to give yourself, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, depending on what you want to do. And at that point, I think people think, I'll just go on the phone for a second. And then they go on the phone and it's just addicting, right? You just keep scrolling. That's what they want you to do. That's what their plan is. and people get caught up in that, and then it's too long. So, I think it's a good idea to leave your phone in the car, but if you have self-control, then you can log all your stuff on your phone too as well. Me these days, I mean, I obviously my memory, I know what I did last week. I know what I'm going to do this next week, and I know my program. If there's other things I'm trying to do though, or add in the program, I might have it in my notes. But hey, let me try this exercise. Let me throw it in the routine just to change things up a little bit, because you got to change things up too. So, right? So you just add it in.
I realize a couple of things for me is that I got somebody there filming the sets. So we are keeping track of that. And if you don't have that, it is ignorant of me to think everybody has that. Yes, take your phone with you, track your numbers, keep that stuff. I think that's great to track.
Yep.
If anybody's here and thinks, oh, don't do the notebook, don't do that. Anybody that does that, I'm a fan of yours.
Yep.
A fan. I think it's so beneficial to track weight, calorie intake, sleep, all that stuff. It's cool to go back and look and go, hey, because I meet too many people that go, I got a fast metabolism, I can't put weight on. Bullshit. Let me do this with you right now. Let's call this out right now. Tell me the meals you had today. Well, today I had this, and this. Great, you had 700 calories. Shut up.
Right.
It's like
you're in your deficit. That's why you're losing weight. You can't keep it on.
Yeah, track it, keep it, and that way you can call yourself out on this stuff. And that's health and fitness is calling you out on where you're messing up.
Yeah,
it's not about, hey, I got 315 bench. Okay, but what can I do to get better? And that's you got to stay on that. So I think that's a great point.
Yeah, and even in work, also, like anything you do in life, man, write it down. Like even the new employees that come in, they all have notebooks.
Not anything. Not a Friday night when you're out with the guys and stuff, and you got
not
the camera
anything.
And
you know what I mean? Business. Yeah. Well, cameras catch that now, so you better just watch out for that. The cameras are going to get you. Don't worry about the notes you're writing down.
I got a question. If you could help these guys out, you have a significant other that you had a conversation with at some point in your relationship. You said, "This is what I need." And the gym is one of those things.
Absolutely.
This is how I eat, and this is going to stay. It's not, hey, this is how I eat Friday night. This is how I eat every day, Monday through Friday.
Right.
Can you give us all information on how you had that conversation? Maybe that could help a lot of us out there that have a significant other that doesn't support the gym, that doesn't support the eating.
I think it's very important to set boundaries early, or as you come about things, like to make sure that it's understood what you want, right? Because in a relationship, it's a two-way streak. What they want, what you want, and then you compromise in between. If you really want to be with that person, or they respect that you want to do that and they support you. So, when me and Therese, it was kind of a fast relationship, within the first 3 months, we're starting to plan on getting married and then having Peter and all that. So when she did get pregnant and everything like that, and, we're married, I'm like, listen, I go, before that, I go, the only thing that I need and I'm going to need is for sure is to be able to go train at least at the gym, at least an hour every day. I don't want to be bothered. I want to be able to go to the gym, not worry about anything, and just go there and train. You want to come, great. You don't want to come, that's fine. But I need it for mental stress and physical. So, or de-stressor, I should say. So at that point, that's the conversation I had with her. It was pretty, I was like, I'll help you. I'll do everything, whatever. And, at that point, like, this is what I need. And she didn't have a problem with that. She's like, all right, I understand. Cause that's who I was. I mean, before it was even worse. I mean, before I ever went on a date or anything like that, I'd get off work, I'd go train, I'd eat, and then go out. So at that point, like, that's always been like a priority to me, and it's always going to be a priority to me. I think even if you're getting a relationship, you don't let yourself go. You always stay tip top. Always. So
I know you say it so casually.
Yeah, they get in the comfortability section, and at that point, they start gaining all the weight. And it's a fact that you will gain weight if you're in a good relationship because you get so comfortable. But you can't get that comfortable. And at that point, like, if they say, oh, I like your body the way it is, but you don't like your body the way it is, at that point, then you need to do what you need to do. And I mean, obviously, I think that everybody needs activity, not just for, the look, but for how they feel and how their health is. So that was one thing that I established with her right away, and there was no problem with that. The eating portion. So luckily, like,
before you jump onto the eating portion, so there was never a, hey, today I want you to take the day off. There was never that.
No. There was never any day that I wanted to take off was on me. Now, the flip side to this, and this is where you got a good benefit, is that if you have somebody that's on the same level and that wants to train and needs to train, they're going to push you. So the excuse day, you're like, oh, I'm just going to stay home today. No. We're going to the gym. That's what I do miss, right? I've been in a relationship like that too, way before Tsikouris, where the person was a gym rat and we would go train, and that would be priority. Even when I was like, no, we're going to go train, get your shit on, and let's go. So I'm like, okay. But I've always been a self-starter and self-motivator. So at that point, like, I don't have a problem. Like, if she doesn't want to go, then great. That's the way I was built and I've always done. So that's the way I'm going to keep doing, I guess. So it was a pretty easy conversation with her. There are a lot of people out there that, I talk to, my friends or patients even, because they ask me like, what do I do when my partner tells me like, why are you spending so much time in the gym? And I'm like, well, you're telling them like you're working on your body, you're working on your health. And ultimately, this is going to affect them, because if you don't have your health, you're not going to be able to take care of them. You're not going to be around them. And then what if, you start slouching, start slobbing, they don't like the way you look at that point, and then they start looking other places. So, I mean, I think there's a whole bunch of things that go along with this to a certain extent. Like, you want to retain your worth, if that makes any sense. Like, you buy a brand new car, right? I buy a brand new Mercedes. We're driving down the street. Oh, man, that thing is awesome. We kick it in, we dent it, we spray paint it, and now we want to keep driving it? Probably not. Think about, oh, that car don't look as good. I don't really want to drive that car. So that's where you got to be like the ultimate automobile too for yourself. I'm like, hey, listen, I am the new best version and will always be the best version of this. You might get older, but that's where the classics come into play, the collectibles. And everybody wants a collectible because they're worth even more money.
I still want my Bronco. Going from there, before we get to this question, what is it? Things you wish you did. Oh, great one. Leave that up there because I think we both need answers. Now, training and the hour away from your significant other is doable in my opinion to most people.
Of course.
And if it is an issue, the psychology behind that would be that your significant other doesn't want you to keep improving because they feel that you're going to out improve them, and so then the relationship gets hurt. So understand that, and then you already know the answer. So then try to incorporate that in on the discussion, saying, well, please come with me. Let's both work on ourselves and our health so we can have a long, healthy relationship together. Don't think it is anything else besides they just don't want to lose you. You're a great catch. That's at the end of the day, you're a great catch, and they just don't want you to get so ahead of them. And and so train together if you possibly can.
That's the best. That is the best thing you could possibly do. If you could train together, like you said, if they're not training, they're upset about you going to the gym and this and that. Like, you should come with me. Like, let's share this. Like, this is something that we can do together and improve both of ourselves. I mean, it's a win-win for both sides. It really is.
The second thing, though, I feel it is tougher. The second thing is you're at home. You're eating together a lot of the time, and you're consistently on point. Now, I can understand somebody just going, come on, that's 2 weeks on point. Can't we have something? How do you continuously stay there? Or is there any advice you can tell somebody? I've never not dated somebody, so I have no understanding about this, where the other person at some point just goes, oh, you're eating healthy. Let's do this together. So I need help on this one. I don't need help on this, but I know there's a lot of people that need help on this one.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, like, luckily me and Tsikouris were both pretty picky eaters. And I call myself a picky eater because I don't eat a lot of things. I eat the good things and I stick to the good things and I like those things, and that's my diet. If Sharice, was around me, and like I said, if she was totally opposite, I've had people, and this is God, 15 years ago. Come on, wait, excuse me, 18 years ago, 19 years ago. But
Don't
basically at
slip
that
up
point,
on
like
that.
I'd have people like, why are you eating like this? Why don't you try this? Why don't you eat this? I'm like, I don't want that. Like, I just don't want it. It is what it is. With Sharice, and I told her, like, I've got her to change a lot, right? Like, when I first met Sharice, she was smoking 2 packs a day. She was drinking literally like 4 Cokes. She'd drink one right when she got up, like literally, like woke up,
How'd you get her to stop this stuff?
pop the
That's
can, and
huge.
drink it. So one was, well, I told her, I said, listen, if we're gonna get married and we're gonna get pregnant, you obviously are not going to smoke with the baby in your belly, right? You're holding the baby. You're definitely not going to smoke. And if you do, we're done. We're done. I'm not playing with that. Like, there's certain, like, me and Sharice in the beginning, like, there's certain, like this is the line, and if this line is crossed, like, there is going to be no line in the future. And that was one thing. And I remember, like, one of her girlfriends coming over and trying to talk her about, like, possibly smoking marijuana with the kid. And it doesn't. You get the hell out of my house. Don't you ever say that. And if you ever do anything like that, Sharice, we will be done. Like, there's certain things, like, just, I'm not doing it. Right. So, she quit smoking, and I helped her quit. Like, I get her, like, they had like nicotine gel that she could rub on her hand just so she could get the fix.
Broke it down.
So she got done with that. Yeah. And slowly, and then she was done. And then the pop, it was like, hey, listen, like, Sharice, like, go down to maybe like 2. I told her, because when I met her, she was 21 years old. At 21 years old, girls you should be, and it's not the case these days, but the girls should be tip top, tight shape, like little young tenderloins, right? And you don't got the big cellulite in the back, you don't got the stretch marks all over. That's prime time. So, I told her, I'm like, listen, I'm like, if you keep drinking that, you're gonna get cellulite in the back of your legs. You're gonna start getting inflammation like crazy. You already got all these different negative health things going on. I'm like, this is just gonna stir even more in your body. So, she started coming around, and she don't drink pop anymore. Here or there, she might have a Coke, a little bit, but I'm not going to stop her all the way. I told her, I said, listen, if you're not drinking it all day, every day, that's a plus for me. So, there's little things that she does. Yeah. Just a little bit. And she don't have it all the time. So I'm like, all right, I'm good with that. But like, Peter's the next thing. Like, I don't want my kid to drink pop. I don't, it is what it is. We know these things are bad. Right. It's not like, maybe they are. Maybe they are. We know they are. So yeah, but for Sharice, that's what I did. And then through the pregnancy, she was done. And then obviously she wanted to lose the weight. So she wanted to, there was a time where Sharice really started really going to the gym, and she was going, she was doing good. So, it just fell off. I think work and all that she uses that, and she's tired, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't care if I'm tired. I'm going to get up in the morning. I'm going to go. I'm going to get it done and be done with it all through the day. So, yeah, that's what I did with Sharice. There was major changes for her, but she made the changes. Even cooking and cleaning. Like, I'm Greek, and she didn't know how to cook or clean. My dad always taught me that, listen, if you expect somebody to do something for you, you better be able to do it yourself, just in case that person is not around and they leave you on your ass. So I could do laundry. I could cook meals. I went to military school. Obviously, I could clean very good. I'm white glove, detail.
You're self-reliant.
So I gotta be. So I taught her how to cook some meals and stuff like that. And she's got a couple good recipes of her own. So she kills it then at that point. She can definitely clean too. So it just instilled it. Boyfriends before me, or the guys before me, they didn't instill that. That wasn't a main priority. And I'm like, listen, I'm not these guys. I'm way far ahead of these guys. And at that point, like, this is what it needs to be. So, it was good. It was definitely good. And there was obviously things with me that she wanted. I'm not talking to no more girls. All this. I'm like, that's fine. No problem. We compromise.
I got to say, something that I see out of you guys, and you doing that negotiation, going, this is my time to be healthy. This is my time to eat the foods I eat. You guys really created a future together. You didn't just, date and get married and have a kid. You guys created a whole life and future together, and you're setting up Peter to be a rock star. So I just props to you guys. Outside of everything else,
Thanks, man.
I think that's really cool. Especially, you know, I know, I understand that smoking cigarettes is addictive, or having drinks or pop or sugars are very addictive. And it's great that you worked with her to get her off of that stuff, which is great for everybody here. You know, you can get that significant other into the gym. You can get trained together. I've worked in the Titan crew with numerous couples that came together. I think the first Titan challenge, the winners was a husband and wife.
Oh, wow.
The winners.
See, that's awesome.
I couldn't pick. There was some great champions, but they were both so impressive that how much weight and change they made. It was two different people, and they did it together.
Wow.
And so that was
awesome.
My first year on that. And so it's cool that you can get that significant. And then speaking of that, that's what a training partner should do, is when you're in the gym, if you want to take your phone in, good, don't get distracted, I think is one of the great things. But have a training partner that pushes you and holds you accountable.
Mm-hmm.
But now let's answer this question. This question is great.
Okay. Things you wish you did at 20 that you do now. Whew. Get more sleep. That's one thing. I probably wouldn't party as much either. You know, obviously I was in college at that point in time. That's really it. I don't really regret a lot of things that I did in my life, or things that, you know, I wish I did. I did a lot of things. So I mean, I wasn't one of those people that were restricted. I did pretty much everything I wanted to do. So there was a lot of things that I did, and things I wish I maybe I don't know. I started really getting into working out like really hardcore in like 1920, because that was right after high school. So I had to get big for college and all that. So that's when it started, like the real. But that was it, man. I mean, I like I said, I wish I would have got more sleep. And I wish probably wouldn't want to party as much, because I did, you know, I was going out in college, I was going out nights and drinking and stuff like that.
I would like to agree with Johnny at 20 that I would have got more sleep, but I have to say no, because of the fact if I got more sleep, I wouldn't have hustled as much as I did in my 20s. I was lucky enough to be in the magazines by 17. And so I knew what I was going to do, and I was working for myself at that age. And so by 20, I was in California, and I was, you know, doing American Gladiators. I was personal training. I was training. I was winning the Mr. Universe, and I was still bouncing on the weekends because, I was young and liked the ladies. So be the bouncer instead of go to the I wouldn't have changed anything outside in the hustle and bustle of life, except in the principle of training, because I was still using speed and momentum in my training because of powerlifting. I wish I slowed down on that earlier. I would have had some more mature muscle earlier on in training.
Gotcha.
And so, that would have been it. But I'm one of the lucky ones that started this stuff really young, and that's the only reason. I started young, but I started playing chess young. I started doing smart training, not just trying to get jacked. So that's
another thing I wish I would have did. I wish I would have trained smarter, for sure. 1,000,000%. That's like top of the list. I wouldn't probably be in the position I am with my shoulders and stuff like that if I did. You know, there's a lot of ego lifting back in the day. A lot of weight I was trying to put up. So
it's tough when you're young.
It is.
Ego, and I don't think ego lifting's bad, but I think it's bad if you're going to get injured. I mean, it's
for sure.
We're young. You're supposed to be a bull in a china shop. You're supposed to run into the wall and be an animal, and that's what youth is for. So I get the idea. Train as smart as you can, but you're young, and I know the mind works differently at that age, and you want to tussle, you know.
It does.
So I fully understand. But Johnny Meir, you know, it's 20/20 vision. Is that what they say? Hindsight is always 20/20 vision. And
that's it.
At this stage, we're like, okay, if you slowed down then, where would I be today?
Well,
so
this is true. I mean, we obviously I mean, so have you. So I mean, obviously what we did in life is brought us to this point. What if you would have changed this, and what if you would have changed that? And would you be in this position you'd be at today? There's always a what if. All you can think about is, listen, it happened. What am I going to do moving forward? How can I accomplish it? Don't dwell on what could have been. Make it be, I guess, in the future. Some things you're never going to get the opportunity to ever do again. I was talking to Peter about this. I'm like, listen, you're in your sophomore year. These are 2 years gone. So at this point, you're going to have to do something else.
Something else is, everybody that's here, 20 seems like young, right? Believe it or not, you're going to be 30 soon. It moves. Yeah. It really does move, and it moves. I guess now that I think about this, I'm talking to a guy, and if I was, here's the thing, I couldn't have done anything different in my 20s for training and stuff. But if I was 20 today, I would optimize my health at 20.
Oh, for sure.
I was saying this the other day. Somebody says about peptides and like BPC and TB 500 and stuff. And I was like, when my son's of age and he wants, I'm like 18, 19 years old. If that's something he wants to do and stuff at that young age to strengthen that ligaments. Because we were just talking about these ball players back in my day, these football players.
Yep.
And they were gassing. But you could see as they entered the pro NFL, how monsters they were coming off of college. And then 3 years in the NFL, the change of the physique and how damaged they were and how many times they were getting injured over and over again. And so it goes back to the point. When you're young, protect yourself. I agree, ego lifting is fun. It is for me, at least. Be smart when you're 20. Be smart when you're 20. Take care of your health. And so if I was 20 today, I would be doing BPC, a TB 500. I'd be doing the aminos, the Hercules potion, which I got to thank you for today. We started with rear delts, and I did 2 shots. Like
nice, insane. I thought
I was Flex Wheeler. I thought I was Flex Wheeler. Like my rear delts. I left the gym 5 minutes, but my rear delts just came. So it's like,
I love it.
Awesome. Awesome.
That's great. Ain't nothing like that feeling for sure. That's one of the best. Hercules is one of the best.
The connection.
But if I was 20 years old, I would definitely be using a Hercules potion for sure. Right? Anybody, and we service 18 and up for something like that. If I was 18 years old, Peter, right, at 15 years old right now, I would let have Hercules potion because all we're talking about is amino acids. That's it. We're not talking about anything else. So if I let him go to a store, a big box store, and buy amino acids, he's essentially going to be drinking them. And who else knows what else is in it, filler wise and this wise, whatever. At least I know that my son would be getting exactly what I know is in the bottle is going to be going in them. So, there's certain things as far as that goes. But 18 and up, there's a lot of different things you can take advantage of that's natural, not going to hurt the body. I get comments all the time. I know you do because we get them on here. Huh?
Can you talk about amino acids and what it is and the breakdown where it's just the proteins? And because I think I know people hear about it, but do they actually know what that is and stuff?
Right. Yeah. A lot of people talk about amino acids and branched chain amino acids and stuff like that. So branched chain amino acids, there's only 3 and they're essential. You got leucine, isoleucine, and valine. So these are going to help in a number of different ways, from helping retain muscle, anti-catabolic effect, rebuilding the muscle, with optimizing as far as the metabolism. But when we start talking about all the amino acids, like if we talked about Hercules potion, there's 9 different amino acids in Hercules. And those 9 are big, right? We're talking about glutamine, which is in every conversation about recovery. So if you're looking for better recovery, this is an amino acid that's going to help, right? And then we're going to talk about getting that pump and blood flow going. And then we'll talk about arginine and L-citrulline, both precursors to nitric oxide, both increase blood flow. They're going to make the pump very intense, and they're going to hold the pump if it's injectable. So that right off the bat, those work together great. And then ornithine. It's an anti-fatigue amino acid. So what does it do? It helps you go longer in the gym, literally work out longer, run longer, you're hiking longer, whatever the activity is. Even if it is sexual activity, you'll have more stamina in the bedroom. I don't know if it lasts. That's on you, but the stamina portion you'll be good.
What's this last?
Lysine. So build the immune system. So, I mean, lysine is great for supporting the immune system. And especially when we're lifting or doing any strenuous activity, we're putting strain on the immune system by doing this, and we need to support that immune system. So this is something that can support that too as well. Proline, it's a collagen-based amino acid. It helps collagen production. This is so important. In all of your body, your skin, your joint, all these different things, collagen is super important. L-carnitine, this is an amino acid that helps with a number of different things, from helping with anabolic effect, nervous system, blood flow, and then NAC is great for liver functions, right? And acetylcysteine. So this is great with detoxifying the liver, letting the liver like properly, filter through the body. So that's just in Hercules Potion. That's 9 different ones. I mean, all the amino acids and peptides are just sequence of amino acids. So amino acids, they direct a lot of different things. They produce great results in a lot of different areas naturally to the body too as well. Try to break it down as easy in layman terms as I possibly could.
No, it's great. I just think people, when they hear peptides, they think some kind of foreign body, and it's amino acids. So
just sequence of amino acids. That's it, which is awesome.
The point of Titan Medical is to optimize your health and keep you healthy and keep you active and living a full life. And again, the reason why I settled over there is because I saw what the industry and what these kind of mom and pop shops were doing. I saw a lot of it was terrible company I was with prior to terrible. The way they would upsell and the way they would try to get money. Oh, you need this, and this, and the end result for me was when I sent a incredible 28, James Maslow, who is a singer and all this. I said, just get on some amino acids, and check your blood work. That's all you should do. And then he called me up afterwards, and he comes back and says, these guys said, I said, send me the list. And they sent a list over to, again, 28 years old, in phenomenal shape, the 1%ers. And I'm like, first of all, his blood work was immaculate. It was like, is what you would hope, you would hope a 20-year-old is just beautiful. And I was like, this is makes no sense to me. It doesn't optimize your health. You're already optimized. You're living a full life. You're doing everything. You don't mess with anything. Because I hate people think that, you got to mess with it to make it better. Not technically.
No.
If you do your blood work and it's fine and everything's fine, don't do anything. And I'll guarantee that these guys will tell you just that. And that's what I loved about medical compared to these other places. It's like, be careful. Don't fall into the hype. I know it sounds good. Hey, take this. It's going to cut body fat and put muscle on you. Well, that sounds great. What's the side effects from it? Does it shut something that I have working now down?
Right.
Or does everything stay? It's like, be smart. Be smart.
They should be going over risk and reward with you on every therapy, whatever it is. I just seen testosterone. They're going to pull off cardiovascular, like heart attack, the warning for heart attacks off testosterone. It's huge. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, guys. They are going to put on there that it could possibly raise blood pressure, but they're going to take off the heart attacks and strokes, which is phenomenal. That's one less thing a lawyer can sue you for.
Love that. You want to answer this one before me?
Favorite cheat meal? I asked you, Mike. Mine's I like pizza and burgers, real hamburgers, cheeseburgers. That would be mine. Cheeseburgers and some hand cut fries.
I'm going with the hamburger as well. But if if it's good beef like Piedmontese and a bun, it's just carbs and protein. And I'll have some bacon on there, a little egg.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I don't know if they consider that a cheat meal.
No, that's really not at all.
Yeah.
All right. Does
Sorry about that
glutathione
last
cover?
one.
Yeah, does glutathione cover glutamine? So no, two totally different things. Glutathione is a super antioxidant, right? It's produced in the liver. Glutamine is an amino acid. Totally two different things.
Thanks for asking these questions too, everybody.
Yeah, I
that's
love
here. I appreciate it.
Love it.
This is the time to ask this kind of questions.
Optimum training frequencies for a 40+ lifter. I mean, three on, one off, I guess. I mean, training frequencies. I mean, it really depends on you. What are you trying to do? Are you having injuries? You like going to the gym? I mean, we answer this question almost every week.
So 40 is you're right there, or next couple of years you're in that man strength era. So this might be some of your best training that you'll ever have in your entire life. So
Yep.
I would take advantage of this. I would really take advantage of this. And so if you don't know this, you can just jump in the Titan Medical, work with them, or you can just jump in the Titan Crew and work with me. We'll get you guys going.
Absolutely. I'm going to boost my tests. Thoughts of taking clomiphene and anastrozole. So, yeah, that would boost your testosterone and lower your estrogen levels or the conversion. Make sure you're getting a blood test and make sure it's by a medical provider that's certified and knows what they're doing. I mean, but I had a couple of people come in the other day, two guys, and they were talking about how they're taking clomiphene and it raised their point level of total testosterone. I think the guy said he had like a 246 and it raised to like a 623 or something like that. So clomiphene is going to be really good with raising natural testosterone levels. Got to make sure the anastrozole is correct though, because clomiphene is not like testosterone where it's going to shoot up a lot and convert really heavy. Some people are different, but at that point you need to blood test, re-blood test, make sure you're good there. And and clomiphene will boost testosterone levels, but at that point, you might want to go on testosterone depending on your age and what the number was at and all that good stuff. You can always start with the clomiphene, see how you feel. But the main thing that people tell me is I felt a little bit better and my numbers jumped up, but I don't feel the ultimate best I think I could possibly feel. And then that's when we really start talking about some other different things.
Is it Gibson? Hey, Gibson. Last one is Gibson. Let me know what your testosterone levels are at right now that made you decide to do that.
Yeah. And if you guys need any of this help, nationwide, Titan Medical Center can service you guys. You just call the number and we'll take care of you, whatever it is.
Also, sorry, I have one more question for Gibson. I'm assuming you did blood work. You found out that it was moderate or low, and so this is why you're going to do this. And was this recommended to you? What was your options? Because I'm hoping, Gibson, you're not doing this just because you read that it will bump it, and so you're like, well, why not jump on it and not know where you're at?
No, definitely not.
We live in that world, though. We live in that world.
We do, 1,000,000%. Please recommend a student-friendly diet for a 5'10", 58 kilogram and age 24. 5'10", 58 kilograms. What is that? Like 130 or 140 pounds, something around. I hate this conversion.
127.
127. Okay. All right. I mean, obviously, listen, a student-friendly diet or a friendly diet.
Go to a GNC or some store, pick up some moderate egg white protein or any kind of protein. Go pick up some noodles, some rice. That's inexpensive, both of those. And then just find some easy ground beef at a club kind of store that would be moderately cheap. That'd be the only expensive thing. And then just mix that. That's your fats, your protein, your carbs, inexpensive.
Gibson said my test was at 449 and estradiol is at 27.3. Okay. I mean, so your
I'm
estradiol is,
just glad he did it. I'm glad he tested.
yeah, no, for sure.
I go to
It'll
Gold's
definitely
Gym
bump.
Venice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah. It's pretty much in every one of those gyms. So you're going to get people that just want to jump on things too as well. So,
Gibson, he hasn't said how old he is, right?
I don't
Gibson,
think so.
one more question. How old are you, my friend? And how much are you training? And how on point is your nutrition right now?
If you are 16 years old, would you advise bulking for how long to build solid base of muscle? I mean, at 16 years old, you should be eating like a champ and training like a champ. I mean,
yeah,
bulking for how long?
Go tell him.
Start of the day to all the way through.
You're bulking for all you parents out there. You're bulking from 1 year old till you're 25. Would be the optimum thing. Is put on as much muscle as you possibly can at that stage of life. That's when you're going to put the most muscle on. That's when your body is working with you to receive that muscle. And so the calories should be in a surplus. You should be eating. You should be training to stimulate the body. And then after 25, fine tune that physique to how you want it. That's my that's what I'm going to do with Titan.
Yeah. So try to eat good foods though. Don't just try to eat a whole bunch of bull.
Don't fall into it.
There's kids
don't
out
fall
there.
Into it, Johnny. Don't fall. Because if you say bulking, this is my fan base here. A lot of these people, and they already know. There's nobody on here that's going, "Hey, I'm going to bulk up on ice cream and donuts." That's how the new age thinks, though. The new age thinks that way, right?
Yeah, I mean, they might see their everyday pro that's doing that, or everyday coach that's doing that, and post on social media, and they think they can do that too. Like, I can't. You know, Gibson. I'm 29, so he's 29 at 446.
Wow,
pretty low.
Yeah, that is
pretty low.
Issue.
It's pretty low. You know, at 29 years old, going to 30, I mean, you should be at least at 600-700 naturally without anything. You know, 449 is probably going to pop you up to like 700-800, which will be all right. Gibson says, I'm on meal prep. I was advised to do TRT, but was kind of scared. Decided to go with the clomiphene, was prescribed 50 milligrams, but I've heard people say not to take anastrozole, but doctors said to take both. Listen to the doctor. Listen to the doctor on this.
Yeah.
You know, just to make sure. Now, listen. If you go on the 50 milligrams, now how many times are you taking this a week too? Because there's different protocols out there. Even with us, you can take it every day. You can take it every other day. It really depends on what you're going to be doing there. And then how much anastrozole are you going to take along with it? That's the other key thing. It's not just, I'm going to take these two drugs. We need to know the dosages, the frequency of these drugs that you're taking. And then at that point, you can kind of come up with, you know, is this going to work, not work? Your estradiol
How long would you let him take the clomiphene and then do blood work again to see if his anastrozole was at 27, if I'm correct? So
yeah, his estradiol is at 27.3.
So it seems to be a bit high. Yes,
it does. It does.
Okay, so
which is pretty common too.
Okay, it is common if you have low T.
Low T. Like you'll see some. It just depends on the person. Some people see it.
Yeah.
And some people you don't. So like it really depends on the person that it comes across, but it's not uncommon for it to be like that. Or I've seen people that have a 446 and that have a 60 on their estradiol. You're like, oh, we need to get you some blockers immediately. You know, so at that point, like, listen, all right, so 0.25 anastrozole every other day. Is that what I'm getting from you? That's what I see.
Throw it up there.
Every other day and 0.25 anastrozole. Is he every other day for the clomiphene or is that for the anastrozole? But either way, what I would like to see somebody do, yes, for both. It might be a little bit too much of an anastrozole for both. I mean, because if you were taking the 50 milligrams every day, I'd say, but listen, I'm not your provider. You need to bring it up to your provider. I will never overstep my boundaries on that. Like,
Well
but
played.
what I would say is this, at least 3 weeks on the medication. Give yourself 3 weeks, retest for free and total, and your estradiol levels, see where they're at. If you start experiencing any negative side effects, fatigued, water retention, irritability, headaches, erectile dysfunction, call your provider, get the blood test done immediately because there's something going on. With this, you should be bumping up. So your energy should increase by the first week. You start feeling a little bit better, a little bit less symptomatic, and just see how you feel at that point. In 3 weeks, you'll know. But if there's something that happens within 2 weeks and you're like, man, like this is something like was not going on, then you need to talk to your provider about it. All right. That was a good one. Ryan Fox. Hey, guys, I can't get my biceps to feel sore anymore at all. I have a good pump, but no soreness. Any ideas?
Yeah. Go in tomorrow.
Baby.
Oh, sheesh. Killed it. Go in, get some Hercules potion. And then when you get that, shoot that in the bicep, go in and do 10 sets of 10 straight bar curls as heavy as you can. Call me after.
You will definitely be feeling it. And you're probably getting like a half inch on your arm too.
Take some
bicep peak. Hi, Mike. What advice do you have for those training during Ramadan? I fast from 3 a.m. to 9 p.m. What time do you recommend I train, and should I reduce my training volume? I haven't really answered a question like this, Mike.
Yeah, they eat during sundown. You can still get your calories in. It's just during sundown. And then I would lower the volume because you've changed up your hours of when you can eat to only sundown. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is what they do. And then because of sleep in your schedule, you're probably trying to get in more calories in the individual meal instead of spread out throughout the whole day. So I would, that time is always tough. Great job doing your thing, staying with what you like. And, but yeah, I would reduce volume, for anybody here, even if it's Ramadan or anything. I think there's times you have to reduce the volume of training so you are allowed to go back to the next stages. That's how training programs work, everybody. You are not 100% every day, 365. Now, if you've never done sports, you may think that is how it works. It does not work that in anything. You do not go all year long at 100%. In nothing in life works that way.
No. Mike, what is biggest step in gaining muscle while keeping a moderately low body fat? Is it diet manipulation? Maybe low carbs? You look amazing year round. Thanks, Mike. Biggest step in gaining muscle while keeping a moderately low belly. So make sure you're all dialed in, right? Blood work's all good. Hormones are all good. At that point, I mean, keeping a moderately low body fat is not hard. I mean, obviously diet plays a huge role in this. Mike knows that. But some of the different therapies can help with some of these different things that you're trying to do too as well. If you're trying to lower body fat and gain muscle, testosterone is a great one to use. Use that along with Hercules potion. If you need HRT, this is going to be a huge thing, and especially for, if you want lower body fat. If your body's working optimally, it's going to be burning as best it possibly can. And as long as your food is on point, your training is on point, recovery is on point, you're going to be able to gain muscle and lose belly fat or body fat as it is. Oh, we got Jeff on here. What's up? I can't hear him.
Sorry, guys. I was just going to say, you're okay, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so I was just saying that Titan Medical comes into play to make the body working properly. So this is one thing that needs to be taken care of. The second thing is that your nutrition does need to be on point all year, depending on what your program is doing up and down. Now, to stay in shape, Johnny's one of those guys that stays diced all year for pool parties. So
The beautiful Florida
there's
weather.
a lot of it's not the training as much as it is the nutrition and making sure your body is functioning correctly.
Yep.
Jeffrey, lock and load us some.
Do you do much cardio? Do you enjoy? I don't know if it means do you enjoy doing cardio or what is the specific type of cardio that you enjoy?
Yeah, I like sex. That's the greatest cardio there ever is. That's
Look
the best.
at
That's
you.
the only cardio I do.
Wow.
I don't run. I don't jump. I just have sex.
Is that steady state or high intensity cardio?
High intensity.
Let me ask her.
She's supposed
'Cause I'm
to get
definitely-
hit by a bus afterwards. Bam. Smash. Hey guys, might be a silly question, but how many reps should I be able to comfortably do before increasing weight on a bench press? Stuck at 175, 185. 3 to 6, right, Mike? I mean, what would you say before they start increasing? I always did 10 to 12. If I could do 10 to 12, I'm like, all right, cool. I can move up and do a little bit more weight. But I wasn't trained like a power lifter. I didn't go for like just max one rep. So I know I guess there's a system to that too as well that works very well. But
Yeah,
I never got to do that.
10 to 12 would be a high reps. And of course, you've established that you can crush the weight you're using. But strength comes off of nervous system. So it would be a lower range. And then if you want to do that, you wouldn't go into the gym and just go, what is the rep range? You would be on a program that sets you up to get stronger. So just anybody here that thinks that the gym is about just going and doing, it's not. There's a program, you go, you do it, you follow the program, you follow the rep range, and then you move through it. Again, it is a slow process to change the body. But yeah, you just be on the program. Whatever the program is to set you up to move the weights, that's how you would do it.
Mike, what is the biggest factor in keeping a moderately low body fat while still gaining muscle? Diet manipulation, low carbs?
We answered this one, and yeah, I said optimize health, make sure the body's working good, and nutrition. Johnny did too.
Yep.
Next.
What are a few solid signs you are truly overtrained and not just tired and normal/fatigue?
Progress.
Yep. I'll see vague things about depression and lethargy, but seems way too open to excuses.
Yeah, progress. I mean, if you're dieting and you're cutting up for a show or whatever it is, and you're trying to get leaner and leaner, you're gonna be destroyed. You're gonna feel fatigued. That's why there needs to be a program. There's got to be a journal on what you're doing, because if the strength is still there, and you're still doing the strength, then you know you're not overtraining. You're just fatigued. The mind, everybody here, it's the mind that sets you up to fail, not the body. So just be aware of that.
What is the biggest mistake experienced lifters make when it comes to staying consistent for decades?
Well, that's a great one.
Wow, that is a good one. Biggest mistake experienced lifters make when it comes to staying consistent for decades. A lot of them don't. They don't stay consistent though.
They're trying to do it for the masses, and they remove it from themselves. They try to create a physique for 9 judges for a title, and you're going to lose. You're going to lose the health, and you're going to lose the passion for what you're doing. And that's why there's Robbie Robinson is one guy that I freaking love. At no point, no matter how much pressure he got, all those guys. He never changed his physique for how the judges wanted it. He kept his physique how he wanted it. So that's why he's still here today, being the greatest there is. There's 8.5 billion people. There's one Robbie Robinson.
Yeah. I think that's key too.
But I don't know how to amp up my appetite Feel full for hours.
These are all program questions, guys. These are all program questions. So you got a certain amount of calories that you're at. We know where that is. Let's start building up the appetite. John's got a plethora of things to build the appetite.
She takes MK, she's going to be hungry.
Yeah,
She takes
so
MK, she's going to be hungry.
And the recovery's better. She's going to build that natural strength. She's going to get more protein in. She's going to build more muscle, lose body fat.
Yep.
Holy cow, we just answered your question right there. Do that.
That's what I'm saying.
But
You want to
again-
get more defined, grow. There you go.
6'2", 185. Goal is 200. What is the best way to lose some belly fat?
6'2", 185. Goals 200. What is the best way to lose belly fat? So I guess you could use testosterone. Testosterone will be great for losing belly fat. It's going to be great for building lean muscle. You could probably add on some pounds just there. I mean, that's one thing you could do. I don't know how old you are. I would like to ask that first. And at that point, because usually if you're belly fat, you just got a little pooch, that could be a hormone issue. So at that point, you could possibly get blood, see what's going on there too as well.
Clean up that diet. You're 185 at 6'2". Clean that diet up. Because if you're 32, you're young.
Yeah.
If your diet is, and I'll eat my words, if it is not your diet and your diet's clean, I'm putting the house on that your blood work needs to be done ASAP.
Absolutely.
There's no reason for a 6'2" at 185 to have belly fat.
Not at 32 years old. Nope.
No.
Hi, Mike. Do you take naps regularly?
Yep. Love my naps. I feel better.
If I can get them in,
That's something I would have. I'd be my 20-year-old self. I wish he took more naps.
But that's why I said sleep.
I know
That's
you
what
did.
I said. Like, because I used to be up
But
all
you were out
night,
at the
all
club
day,
till 3 or 4. Then you were
and
off
then go to
Cuba
school
for a
and
little
then
weekend party.
whatever I was doing. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it was a good time. It just I wouldn't repeat that good time.
I love naps.
What are the top 3 supplements you would recommend for longevity? Well, obviously, a good GHRH. GHKCU would probably be a good one. NAD would be a good one. I mean, these are three really, really good ones. I mean, you could add in. There's a lot of different things you could do for longevity.
Yeah. Wow.
You know?
That's probably the question of the day, because I would sit back right now and go, whoa. Because you got the joints and the ligaments, you got the mind, you got the, wow. Great question. I don't have an answer.
Don't need one after that.
I mean, for longevity purposes, you want to make sure that you're controlling your hormones, because as soon as those start declining, things are going to start declining in the body. So
Okay, so your hormones are good. Hold on, I'm having a debate with you here. Hormones are good.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Well,
your
that
next?
would cover hormones, right? So NAD would be
Right.
the other one. So for neurodegenerative
NAD.
disease, cell deterioration, and
Okay.
the last one after that would probably be GHKCU. So if there's skin, collagen, everything on the outside looks good. So we're talking about 3 major ones.
Okay, but then you
'cause
just
growth
gave me a
hormones
guy
cover the
that
hormones.
looks great. His hormones are
Yep.
good, but
Yep.
he's not going to the gym to train anymore. He's all injured up. So how do you slip in
BPC and
the
TB 500.
B500? I'm just saying.
This
See,
is agreed.
See,
But
yeah,
it's hard to even nail it down to 3. Like, because I'm talking about longevity. I'm not even talking about just
That's
keeping
a
yourself
good
healthy
question.
and
I don't want to
moving
live to 100 if I
mobility-wise.
can't lift. But that's
This is true.
right. I don't want. It's like I agree. Hormones balanced. Okay. Now it's a give and take. Do I want the healthy? It's like, whew. Yeah, that's a great question.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Man, it's
Trust
a
me.
fight. It's a fight. I 5, 6. There's like 6.
That's what I'm
There's
saying.
like
I couldn't nail it down to 3. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard.
I don't. Well, here's the great thing. We don't have to.
This is true.
We can do 6.
This is true.
We can do 7.
This is true.
or 20.
That's the best thing for sure.
That was the best. That's great.
It is.
And I knew you were going to go to those. I had a feeling those three, but I'm like, I don't want to be 80, 90 and not lifting.
I agree. Like, I totally agree with you. BBC
like,
255. Those are major ones. Tough. There's other ones though that we could even talk about, like Epithalon, extending telomeres and extending like your life like that.
Yeah,
there's some.
Yeah, see,
there's some different ones that we don't talk about that I'm gonna start bringing up because we do have patients, and it's like Epithalon is like something you only take 2 times a year. It's just maintenance dosing, so it's not something you have to take every day or every month or beyond a long term. It's 10 days each cycle, so 20 days out of the whole year. So what? So 365 days. So you got 364 or. Yeah.
I'm ending this call and calling you. Let's end the live so I can call you and let's go.
I got you. And there's new ones coming out all the time. So we're just, right. I've been taking sheets and just looking at some different things that we're going to be going forward with. There's definitely some good ones out there. Some new things that we haven't been using.
All right. What do you got for this guy?
All right. Best exercise develop lower lats. Like a row. I like rows. That's going to be isolated one hand or both. I'm more of a obviously for back day, it's like pull-ups, 3 different versions, 3 different angles, rows. And what else do I do? I'll do pull downs, and then I'll do lower back. Those are the 4 exercises that I do for back day right now. So lower lats for me, I'm like a row, like even a reverse grip row. That's what I've been utilizing right now, and that's been working pretty good. Like I can literally feel the pump in my lower lats with that lower row with the reverse grip.
And for my answer is, I don't know if Jeff or Mona posted my video today, but they're going to post up exactly what my exercise is for lower lats. So for anybody that wants to know, go on over to my Instagram page here. If you guys post it. Not yet? Okay, it'll be going up here in a bit, and you'll be able to see what I do for my lower lat.
Nice. Hey, guys, I'm 28, feeling strong and healthy. I'm still improving in the gym at 245 pounds. Should I still do the blood work even though I'm feeling great? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why would that be?
We want to know what great feels like from the blood aspect. What does great feel like? Let's see. And then keep track. You're 28. You're 245 pounds. That's great. So at that point, keep tracking and keep progressing, and you'll see. And it's not bad because you might find something in there at early stages, and now you're able to help yourself in the early stage and be able to correct it maybe. So never a bad thing. Even if you feel on top of the world, definitely get blood work.
I think you guys are thinking blood work is just on feels good. And I gotta express this. I had a friend, and the only reason I say this is because you're 28, and he was 28 when he won, and he was dead 2 weeks later, and he felt great. So feeling great doesn't mean the inside is working perfect. You've got to understand that. This is just basic common sense. There could be things that are already signals, numbers, levels that are leading you down the wrong path. And even though you wake up and you're feeling great, does not mean that the blood work is going to say the same thing. I'm hoping it does for everybody. I hope you get to Robbie Robinson's age. I hope you stay active your whole life. Yeah. But to assume how you feel is what's going on in your body, in no world does it work. That my friend Clark Bartram, nobody on this feed right now, not even me, can keep up with this guy. So that's telling you he's not only feeling great, he's an absolute savage. Finds out that his prostate cancer. And so it's, again, you can't be that naive to think just because you're emotionally feeling good and energetic that the blood work doesn't have something to report to you. And that's why I emphasize on this. If you want true longevity, understand where you're at now. Because here's the great thing about you being 28, 245, great size. And you look incredible here. You look like a superhero in the photo. So the point would be to go check your numbers. John's team is going to tell you where you're at. And then great. Everything comes back perfect, right? That we all want that.
Absolutely.
Now keep those numbers at that range. When you're 35, when you're 40, when you're 45, you have a base number to where you can kind of keep it around what you need to keep feeling great, my friend. For everybody here, that's why we do these talks. That's why John takes his time out of his day. Titan
Absolutely.
Medical is here to help you find out what's going on. Sorry, Johnny. I just it's
No.
the common sense that they think how I feel is I'm only sick when I'm sick.
Right. No, I know.
I wish
I
life
know.
worked that way.
I know. Me too.
Yeah.
I'm 43. At what point do you cross the threshold from lifting heavy to into ego lifting territory? I wouldn't at 43. I don't think I would go ego lifting territory at 43.
Yeah, you're done with ego lifting in your 20s.
Yeah,
you're done with that. You're 43. You're not doing any ego lifting. You're lifting heavy, which is great because again, 43 is your prime for being man strong.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not doing ego. You're 43. You know better than that. You're not John at 21.
I know, right? I wish I could go back, tell myself, hey, listen, do it like this. Does that work both ways? If you feel like crap, are you sweet on the inside? Absolutely not. That's even more of a reason for you to go get blood work. If you don't feel good, you feel like crap every single day. If you wake up and you've slept 10 hours and you feel unrefreshed, if you have fatigue, if you have ED, if you're not getting an erection in the morning, you might have low testosterone. You should have morning wood almost every morning if your testosterone is working properly. And if it's not, there could be some other things going on, maybe blood flow or some issues there. But that's like one of the flags. Like we'll ask like a questionnaire and I'm like, do you get morning erections? And if somebody says no, that's like, all right, let's check against you right now that you might have low testosterone. So these are just some of the different things. If you're feeling like crap, you don't feel good, you feel off, you don't feel like your old self, you're depressed and there's nothing to be depressed about, everything's going your way, then you should definitely get checked out and just at least see what's going on.
Go back to the one before we jump off of that last one. For anybody out there that's feeling like crap, again, I agree. Go get the blood work. Now, blood work, let's hope, comes back that everything's fine.
Right.
Now you could sit there and go, okay, the feeling like crap is my mind. And like I said earlier, your mind gives up before your body.
Right.
So straighten that out, okay? But at least you know. Knowing is half the battle, G.I. Joe.
It really is. It really is. I like that. Tips for growing a business. I'm really close on getting started on YouTube.
Wow.
Put everything you got into it. Tips for growing business. So get every piece of real estate online you can that's free. And that's the first thing I tell everybody. I'm like, once you've developed your company, right? You've made your corporation, you kind of protected it there. At that point, go online, get all the necessary spaces, all your social media platforms, any free sites you can put a business listing on. I mean, this is key. Just like in the real world, we would want to buy as many properties as we possibly can because you have that many properties now. And now everywhere you go, think about it. That was your business. Everybody sees it. Everybody can go into it. Same thing with online. You definitely want to be everywhere you possibly can for visibility purposes, SEO purposes, and for people to see you. So that's key. And then obviously getting your content and everything else going, that's gonna be another thing. But the first thing is, I guess, make sure your product is good. But you can have a good product and have horrible marketing and nobody knows about you, nobody buys it. So these things go hand in hand, but you got to make sure whatever you're selling is good. That's the first thing, because then you can get behind it. You can be very confident about it and be like, hey, listen, this is going to be that to you guys, or this is going to work this way. You guys are going to love it. And if they do that, they're going to buy it. They're going to buy it. They're going to like it. And they're going to tell other people. The people are going to see it. And you can keep pushing sales that way. I mean, there's a lot of different things. I mean, Mike, he's created his own brand. I mean, in so many different ways, functions. It's cool. It's cool to see how you can monetize on things nowadays that before we couldn't monetize on.
Yeah, it's smart for you to do it. And I'm glad that you're making the leap and jump. Best way to get into it is start it. start. Get in there. You'll discover a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Johnny, love hanging with you, man. I love my Tuesdays or
too.
Wednesdays.
I know. Whatever days I can get, man. Whatever days I can get with you guys, it's awesome. So
I'm back, so we got to get some more. We got to get a lot more.
Absolutely.
And I'll be back out in Florida. So just FYI, I'm going to try to schedule another trip out there to hang with you.
Wait.
In the next 4 weeks. So let's go. Everybody, we will see you next week. This is the time to jump on here to ask those questions. Thanks for hanging, everybody. Johnny, always.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Later on.
See you, kiddo.
Later. All right. Puppy Wonder.